It's coming. Can't you feel it? Getting closer and closer. Soon, it will be in every town, every city, every country. You can't run. You can't hide. Nothing can stop it.
Boo.
Tom and Jerry, the movie.
Oh boy, we're in for a treat this time. So, obviously Tom and Jerry are two of the most beloved cartoon characters in existence. The cat and mouse duo have been scrapping with each other since 1940, and more than 80 years on, they remain very popular to this day. I guess there's something about senseless cartoon slapstick that just brings audiences together. However, when it came to their first ever feature-length outing in 1992, it wasn't exactly smooth sailing. It failed to make back its budget in the US, but in the UK, it performed even worse, opening way down at number 6 in August 1993 with a measly £65,000. I mean, when you're being outdone by the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Last Action Hero, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 all in the same week, that's really saying something. So, sadly for Tom and Jerry, they never became a big box office hit. Still, the movie went on to be shown all the time on Cartoon Network's Cartoon Theatre throughout the 90s and the early 2000s, which is how I ended up seeing it for the first time. And I liked it. Yeah, I can't believe I'm actually admitting that in public, but I actually enjoyed this movie as a child. I'd always watch it whenever it came on TV. In fact, I liked it so much, I even went and bought the VHS from a school fete when I was about 7 years old. Yeah, you remember school fetes, right? Where people would sell stuff and you could splash the teacher, and yeah, anyone outside the UK will probably have no idea what I'm talking about. It's kind of funny, actually, as this VHS is technically still the most recent home video release of this movie over here. It never made it to DVD or Blu-ray in the UK, so this is a bit of a keepsake, in all its sun-bleached glory. I mean, goodness me, look at how bad this is. You can barely read the text. Did they leave this tape baking out in the sun or something? Even the tape itself is pretty weird. It's all green. Why? Shouldn't this be the colour for an Incredible Hulk movie instead? Oh well, at least we know who I got it from, because they labelled the tape. Alicia Cardoni. I think her brother used to beat me up for my lunch money. So, childhood memories aside, how well does Tom and Jerry's first ever movie hold up? Let's sink our claws into this tape and take a look. First of all, this tape definitely has one of the most epic logo sequences. Now that is the sound of the 90s. You know we're getting into something more obscure when these B-grade distributors start popping up. I have to say though, this logo always confused me as a kid, because I used to think it was a giant head. Yeah, you know, like that's the eye, that's the mouth, and this triangle is like a tiny hat on top. Obviously I realise it's a bird of prey now, but I don't know, it's just one of those weird childhood thoughts. Maybe it's like an ink blot picture or something. Fittingly, the first trailer on the tape is a promo for Tom and Jerry Kids, a spin-off from the early 90s that only lasted a few years, and you can probably see why.
It's everyone's favorite cat and mouse, joined by some old friends and some young ones too.
It's just a strange idea, really. It's Tom and Jerry, but they're kids. Success?
Get ready for tomfoolery and Jerry merriness like you've never seen before.
It used to be on CBBC back in the day. Even watching this now, it gives me a weird feeling, like a distant memory from the back of your head that you haven't thought about for years. You can't believe it exists, but it does.
It's Tom and Jerry Kids.
Fantastic, marvelous.
From Turner Home Entertainment International.
The last trailer is for Budgie the Little Helicopter, a preschool show that I certainly remember, but I don't think I ever actually watched it.
He's the bravest, cheekiest, friendliest little helicopter Harefield Airfield's ever known.
This ad doesn't have much to tell us anyway, because there's no actual clips. It feels like they just ripped these images straight out of a storybook or something. Maybe the show wasn't finished yet, so they had to do things the cheap way.
Budgie the Little Helicopter. Catch him soon on video, before he gets into any more mischief.
Is that a threat? Movie time now, and whose house is this? Answers in the comments. Anyway, we're straight into the credits, where Tom and Jerry do what they do best, beat the living stuffing out of each other. I guess this doesn't seem too bad. I mean, I know this movie has some kind of horrible reputation, but right now, it feels like it captures the original spirit of the cartoons. Even the animation is kind of appealing, with Tom and Jerry looking more or less like they should. Most of it was handled by Film Roman, an animation studio involved in way too many shows to count, including The Simpsons for a majority of its run. So there was definitely some talent involved. I mean, how can it be that bad, right? Okay, so the plot gets going when Tom and Jerry's owner moves away from home, accidentally leaving them behind.
Don't forget the love seat. Please hurry. It's a long drive to our new house.
That's already a bit weird, because if I know cat owners, they drive 100 miles to get their precious pet back. It's not like she'd just leave them there, right? Wow, that's kind of cruel. What's wrong with this girl? Screw the pets, I'm going to Barbados! As if that's not brutal enough, the next day the whole house gets demolished by a giant wrecking ball, with Tom and Jerry only just barely managing to escape. What? Who buys a perfectly good house and just suddenly decides to trash it? Talk about a waste of real estate. So Tom and Jerry end up lost and alone, walking the streets with only each other for company. I actually don't mind this. Rivals they might be, but somehow one can't exist without the other, so they have to stick it out together. This nod to the original creators of Tom and Jerry is also a nice touch. And hey, they've been silent for the whole movie so far. Maybe they really are staying true to the characters.
First time out in the cold, right? And instead of being pals, you're fighting like a cat and a mouse.
Who are you?
The name is Pugsy.
So this is Pugsy, some kind of talking dog who has a flea called Frankie living on him.
I'm of French extraction.
Odd.
You guys have gotta learn to be friends.
Pugsy and me's been through thick and thin.
I guess these two are meant to be like the anti-Tom and Jerry. They're friends, they don't want to kill each other, and they actually talk. Because if there's one thing Tom and Jerry definitely don't do, it's...
I'm Tom.
I'm Jerry.
You talked! How come you never spoke before?
Well, there was nothing I wanted to say that I thought you'd understand.
Alright, let's be serious for a moment. So this is the big thing about this movie. Why do Tom and Jerry talk? Well, to be completely honest, when I was a kid, I never actually had a problem with this. You see, I had this thing about silent cartoon characters where I'd always wonder what they sounded like. So when this movie came along, I thought, oh, thanks for the answer. I didn't even question it. It was like the mystery was solved for me.
Well, sure I talk. What do you think I am, a dummy?
You said it.
Of course, now I realise it's a cardinal sin to have Tom and Jerry talk. The whole charm of the characters comes from their silent expressions and actions. But believe it or not, this isn't even the first time they were given dialogue together. Back in 1943, there was a show called The Lonesome Mouse where they actually talked to each other.
Hey, you want to get back in the house, don't you?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, we're still kidding, ain't we?
Sure.
Why, that dirty double-cross, good for nothing.
Yep, almost 50 years before this movie came out, so it isn't the only Tom and Jerry work to have bent the rules. Still, this is certainly a road they shouldn't have gone down, but I guess we'll have to deal with it.
That goes double for me.
Now that Tom and Jerry have finally opened their gobs, they decide to sing a big song about friendship.
We two, we're friends to the end. Ain't we, my friend? We kind of blend together, coffee and cream. Boy, what a team!
Yes, in case you didn't already know, this film is actually a musical. In fact, the music was done by Henry Mancini, the Pink Panther guy. Bizarre.
We don't mind a drop of rain.
But you won't hear us complain.
Doesn't help to stop the rain.
What's the gain if we complain?
Causes lots of stress and strain.
I suppose this song is meant to bring Tom and Jerry closer together, but didn't they already make it clear that they need each other without even having to say anything? It's like they were doing okay to start, but now everything's suddenly gone into crazy land.
Friends? That's disgusting.
After that display of madness, Pugsy gets himself captured for crimes against Tom and Jerry law by... two guys in ski masks? We'll come back to this later, this movie's crazy enough as it is. Meanwhile, Tom forages for food and runs into a gang of singing cat punks who all wear clothes for some reason. It must be the latest cat fashion, I suppose. And of course, they have a song to sing too.
We hate your ugly mug, this putrid place, the lousy, stinking human race.
You know, this movie is just getting increasingly bizarre to me. Who are these characters? Where did they come from? What purpose do they serve the story?
We shout our dirty words in dirty voices. We We like dirt bikes, not Rolls Royces.
It feels like they were just trying to pad out the runtime with every random idea they could think of. You never even see these guys again, so you could have just cut this whole scene instead of giving me my weekly fever dream. Tom manages to escape the feisty felines and reunites with Jerry, but they soon run into another problem, a little girl hiding under a bridge.
I'm an orphan. My mother died when I was a baby.
This is Robin Starling, an orphaned girl who's run away from home after the death of her father, an explorer who perished in an avalanche.
He was the most wonderful father in the world.
And she pretty much becomes the main character of the movie. Yeah, no joke. Tom and Jerry just get sucked into this girl's life. She practically takes over the whole film.
I'm afraid I don't have a home anymore.
Well, I suppose they were looking for a plot, and now we finally found one. So Robin lives in a big mansion with her guardian, Aunt Fig, a sweet, caring woman who just wants to get her niece back.
Shut up, Lick Boots, you hoodoo.
Yeah, she's mental, working together with the help of her scheming lawyer, Mr. Lickboot. Yes, that's his name, Lickboot. I didn't even know that as a kid. I used to think it was like Limpooch or something.
Without Robin, Daddy Starling's trust fund money will go bye, and you'll be out in the cold.
And you with me, Lickboot.
Oh, thank goodness, some actual villains. Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't find these two a bit amusing. I mean, there's no depth to these maniacs whatsoever, but at least they're fun in a cruel sort of way.
You're a lawyer? Scheme.
For some reason, Aunt Fig reminds me of Ursula from The Little Mermaid. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if that was an early influence for the animators. I think this guy's my favourite, though. He's basically just a sleazy scumbag with the voice of Tony J, so I think I'm obliged to like him.
That's why it's so sleazy.
He's like Judge Claude Frollo if he lived for a few extra centuries. These two are perfect for each other anyway, as they're both obsessed with one thing, and one thing only.
Money?
We've got to have money.
No comment. The two partners in crime have been stealing Robin's inheritance and using it for their own greedy needs, leading to yet another song about the beauty of money, with even more crazy imagery.
Money and I, we are as happy as apple and pie. Haven't you heard? Money is such a beautiful word.
I mean, you really must be living the high life if you need to walk up a staircase full of coins to get anywhere. And is it just me, or does Tony J sound a bit excited on this line?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Maybe they told him he was getting a raise. People ship this, don't they? Robin is finally brought home by the police with Tom and Jerry, and like all good orphans, she's sent straight to bed without any supper.
And your bed is back in the attic where orphans belong.
That's so mean. Meanwhile, Tom and Jerry have to contend for food with this weird dog on a skateboard called Ferdinand. I don't really get it. It feels like he should be one of those weird unlockable characters in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. But when the pair learn from the villains that Robin's father is still
alive.
Thank you. They try to tell Robin, only for Aunt Fig to catch them in the act.
I'll make sure Dr. Applecheek takes special care of you.
She locks Robin in the attic and sends Tom and Jerry away to Dr. Applecheek, a friendly vet who lives just down the street.
Dr. J. Sweetface Applecheek at your service, dear lady.
Seems like a nice chap. He even sings a song about how he loves animals and would never do anything to harm them.
My best friends are animals. Their best friend is me.
Wow, I mean, he might have one of the strangest names ever, but at least Dr. Applecheek seems like a stand-up guy. I'm sure he'll be the one to help Tom and Jerry rescue Robin and...
Here, boys, take good care of them.
Well, that took a nosedive. It turns out Dr. Applecheek is actually a depraved psycho who captures pets and sells them back to their owners with the help of the two masked bumblers who kidnapped Pugsy earlier in the movie.
Yes, animals are business, a money-making business. I kidnap, buy, and sell them, call their owners up and tell them.
Now all those other animal-related crimes over the years make so much sense.
Big, 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 big!
Seriously, what's up with this guy? It's like there aren't any nice adults in this movie. Everyone's a bad guy. That's 7 now if you count Miss Abandonment from the start. Why is everyone so twisted?
Pristine Figs paid for the privilege of doing them.
I'm not even going to comment on that line. So Tom and Jerry get locked up by Dr. Maniac right next to a cameo, but Jerry manages to squeeze out of the cage and freeze all the animals.
Get going and give that orphan kid the good news.
Right.
Frankly, I think Pugsy got off easy. He never should have gotten early release for forcing Tom and Jerry to talk. But now it's time for another song. This one's kind of sad though, as Robin sings about missing her father in the hopes of winning an Oscar. Because old animated movies always need to have some kind of slow depressing song to tug at the heartstrings.
Do I miss you? Count the stars, multiply by 10.
Fortunately, Tom and Jerry arrive to lighten the mood, helping Robin to escape the attic and sail away to freedom. They set off in search of Robin's father, but their raft gets smashed by a boat and they end up getting separated. What's with all the heavy machinery out to kill everyone in this movie? First a wrecking ball, now a ship? Nowhere's safe, kids!
People will do anything for money. So we offer a reward for her. Someone will turn her in.
After Aunt Fig and Lickboot stage $1 million reward to get Robin back, Robin wakes up to this terrifying piece of nightmare fuel attached to the arm of a man known as Captain Kiddie, who runs a carnival in the middle of nowhere with his hand puppet Squawk.
You are the lucky guest of Captain Kiddie. Oh yes, and my first mate, Squawk.
Now, this whole scenario might seem a bit creepy, but personally, I think it's all down to Squawk. I mean, he's clearly alive, isn't he?
Captain, I gotta talk to you.
All right already.
Can we step outside?
Maybe he's like a parasite who leeches onto people.
I'll bet you'd like some milk and cookies. All little girls like milk and cookies.
And I know what everyone's thinking. Oh, Captain Kiddie is obviously a bad guy. He's some kind of demonic child kidnapper, and it's only a matter of time before he reveals his true colors.
I've done it all.
Oh, you got gone.
I've done it all.
Have you got gone?
I played the Boondocks and I slayed Carnegie Hall.
Nothing at all.
But no, he's actually very friendly, gives Robin food, sings a song in which he harmonizes with himself.
As I recall.
Okay, that's pretty weird. And he even gives Robin a tour of his carnival.
How about a ride on the captain's Ferris wheel? Tallest one in the county.
Now, isn't that refreshing to have an adult in this movie who shows no signs of suspicious behavior whatsoever? I was almost expecting every grown-up to be completely irredeemable, but here comes a pleasant character to prove me wrong.
Sorry, kid. Gotta keep you here till your aunt arrives to fetch you.
And I thought you were a nice man.
But I am, my dear.
Why is everyone evil in this movie? Doesn't anyone have a conscience? There's more bad guys in this movie than an Avengers film. It's like every character is just driven by greed and insanity.
Just relax. Look around. You're on top of the world.
I mean, the man's out of his mind.
Please let me down. Don't send me back to Aunt Fig. She hates me.
So Captain Evil traps Robin on the Ferris wheel so he can tell Aunt Fig and claim the big reward. Unfortunately for her, Dr. Applecheek overhears the location and races to get there himself. Only he makes the biggest mistake in the book by telling his cronies about their share of the loot.
You get nothing.
Smart goons, but Dr. Applecheek quickly finds another form of transport and decides to steal it in what has to be the most horrifying scene in cinematic history. Why? Why does he make that face? Who decided he should make that face? I mean, if the context involved a demon stealing my soul, I'd understand, but it's a guy stealing an ice cream cart. It doesn't require that kind of creep factor. Meanwhile, Tom and Jerry, oh yeah, remember them? I almost forgot they were in this movie, managed to rescue Robin from the Ferris wheel, while Aunt Fig and her henchmen arrive on the scene. Just look at this. It's like all my worst nightmares coming to get me in my sleep.
They're getting away!
Tom, Jerry, and Robin make their escape in a boat, leading to a crazy chase between all the villains as they race after them at top speed. This is pretty much where the movie just descends into anarchy. I mean, you try explaining any of this imagery and telling me it makes sense. No wonder I enjoyed this as a kid. You just have to embrace it. But after Tony Hawk's dog busts up the bridge with a sick grind, dude, Dr. Applecheek falls through and hits Captain Kiddie, stopping both of them in their tracks. And that's the last we ever see of them, which is kind of odd. I mean, did they get arrested? Did Dr. Applecheek drown in there? Is Captain Kiddie just stuck up there forever? My 7-year-old brain wants answers.
There it is. Daddy built it just for me. We come up here every summer.
Robin finally reaches her father's log cabin, where her dear old relative is finally waiting to welcome her with open arms.
Daddy is dead.
Yeah, that's pretty creepy.
You'll never run away again. Never.
You're not taking me back. You'll never take me back.
Oh, yes, we will.
Oh, no, you won't.
They lock Tom and Jerry out and try to capture the girl, but she accidentally starts a fire and ends up getting trapped.
Robin, the house is burning down. You must get out before it's too late.
Wait a minute, why is he nice all of a sudden? I always thought that was so weird.
Let's get out of here before we all fry!
But the girl...
Are you seriously telling me that after all the psychos we've seen in this movie, it's the sleazy Tony J. Lawyer who actually has a shred of dignity? My mind is blown. The villains make a run for it, but they end up trapped on the boat and sail out of the movie. Honestly, I'm almost surprised there isn't some kind of horrible bad guy death scene, but I guess we can assume they were all lost at sea. But Robin ends up getting rescued by Tom and Jerry, and they race onto the roof just as Robin's father finally arrives in his flashy helicopter to save her.
You're safe now, Robin.
Though, frankly, given the amount of face heel turns in this movie, I'm amazed he doesn't just throw her back into the burning flames.
Hey! Come back!
No, instead it's Tom and Jerry who draw the short straw, collapsing into the wreckage and almost frying to death. How pleasant. That said, it is a little sweet how Tom misses Jerry when he thinks he's dead.
Oh, please be alive. I promise you.
All the cheese I can eat?
All the cheese you can eat.
But only a little. Fortunately, the pair survive, and Robin takes them in as her adopted pets, giving them a brand new home to cause chaos once again. So don't you worry, Tom and Jerry, you've got at least another decade before Robin abandons you, and the whole thing starts all over again. So that was Tom and Jerry the movie, and honestly, I think my brain just burst into popcorn. It's just madness. Sheer, unbridled madness with no rhyme or reason to it. It's not even about Tom and Jerry, really. It's a story about a bunch of crazed maniacs chasing after a girl, with some songs randomly thrown in the middle. It's a work of complete nonsense, which makes it kind of an interesting curiosity. It might not be good, but it makes me laugh. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Thanks for watching this video, and look out for more reviews coming soon. Or else. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, support me on Patreon for early access to new episodes, and don't forget you can buy a ton of these tapes from the official Back to the Past eBay store. See you next time.